Shalom. All praises, all power, all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach you on Woo. Peace and salutation to the Akyam, the fellow laborers, the hopeful elect, pushing this truth of Rishka the one lies through the four corners of the earth. To the Akwathiam listening, learning, sincerity, and the truth and the silence, Shalom. Akyam, meaning brothers, Akwathiam, meaning sisters, Shalom, meaning peace be unto you. It's your brother from the GMS Toronto camp here in Toronto with another lesson. All right, we'll get right into it. Another news and prophecy. Right, as you can see here on Al Jazeera News, non-negotiable. Saudi Arabia flatly rejects Trump's Gaza takeover plan. Right, and if you don't know by now, Trump's on the record this morning saying, gonna take over Gaza. Right, and about 2-3 weeks ago, he was on the record of saying, we're gonna clear out the Palestinians, send them to Egypt and Jordan, and clear them out. Right, but as you can see here, the leader of the Saudis is like, nah, and from Trump's coming to office, he's just talking real reckless, man, like a stunt man, right? It says here, establishing a Palestinian state is a firm, this is a quote of the king of the Saudis. Establishing a Palestinian state is a firm, unwavering position, Saudi's foreign ministry says, rejecting Trump's ethnic cleansing of Palestinians from Gaza, right? So the Saudis aren't on board. The Saudis are like, nah, come better than that, right? We'll just read a paragraph or two. Saudi Arabia reacted swiftly and sternly to U.S. President Donald Trump's pledge to take over the Gaza Strip, reiterating no normalization deal with Israel will occur until Palestinians receive their own independent state, right? And this normalization deal goes back to the Abraham Accord, which was signed in 2020. Right, between Israel, Saudi Arabia, Abraham Accords. The Abraham Accords are a bilateral agreement on Arab-Israeli normalization signed between Israel and the United Arab Emirates and between Israel and Bahrain on September 15, 2020. Mediated by the U.S., the announcement on August 13, 2020 concerned Israel and the Emirates before the subsequent announcement of an agreement between Israel and Bahrain on September 11, 2020. Yeah, so basically it's an agreement between Saudis and Israel. But when you look into Saudi, their interests, right? They're pro their people, right? Foreign relations of Saudi Arabia are the diplomatic and trade relations between Saudi Arabia and the other countries around the world. The foreign policy of Saudi Arabia is focused on cooperation with the oil exporting Gulf states, the unity of the Arab world, right? That's their main interests. Of course, they're exporting of their oil, right? In the Gulf, the Persian Gulf, right? The unity of the Arab world, Islamic solidarity, and support for the United Nations. In practice, the main concerns in recent years have been relations with the U.S., the Saudi Arabian-led intervention in Yemen, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Iraq, the perceived threat from the Islamic Republic of Iran, and the effect of oil pricing. Saudi Arabia contributes large amounts of development aid to Muslim countries. From 1986 to 2006, the country donated $49 billion in aid. Right, so they're all about the state of their people. Right, they're all about the interests of the Islam of the Muslim countries. right? So they detest, they frown upon what's taking place in the Strip, right? Goes on to read here: the establishment of the Palestinian state is a firm, unwavering position, right? So they're saying, listen, man, an establishment, the Palestinian has to get their own. It has to be established, a Palestinian state. It says here, a firm, unwavering position. The Saudi Ministry of Foreign Affairs said in a lengthy statement on X on Wednesday. His Highness stressed the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia will not stop its. These things glitch out. This thing here glitches out. These ads glitch out the feed. His Highness stressed the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia will not stop its tireless work towards the establishment of an independent Palestinian state with East Jerusalem as its capital, and the kingdom will not establish diplomatic relations with Israel without that. You see that? Right? So it's like my way or the highway. Right. And then you have the unmuzzled, right? DT-45 talking loosely, right? Listen, it's going to continue. What we're seeing now is escalation, the escalations of skirmishes, conflict, right, which will lead to proxy wars, right? Because the MOTB is going to be mandated first, right? But things are going to take place to rouse up, um, for one, draw America into war. Israel's going to do something to draw America into war. We're going to continue to see the escalation of um, conflict, right? But we know the MOTB's got to come first. Jeremiah 49, right? Saudi Arabia is not a fan of the state of Israel. Right? None of those Muslim Republic nations are a fan of the state of Israel. Jordan, Egypt, Cairo, Cairo's in Egypt, Slovakia, Jordan, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, right? Saudi Arabia. Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh, that he has taken against Edom and his purposes, that he has purpose against the inhabitants of Teman, right? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, these ruling class elites, banking, international banking gangsters, right? Teman, the wise men of the house of Esau, who are the Germans, right? Who are their physicists, their nuclear scientists. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock is the land is the land of Israel, the state of Israel. They're going to draw America into conflict, ultimately leading into World War III, right? But the time of Jacob's trouble, all hell breaking loose, and the MOTB comes before that, right? What we're seeing here is escalating, going into skirmishes, right? Before all hell breaking loose, before World War III pops off, you're going to see proxy wars, skirmishes. When you look at history, World War I, World War II, there was multiple skirmishes. Right now, there's a skirmish going on with the land of Israel and Gaza. Then you got Russia and Ukraine. And then you got various skirmishes over there in Africa. Right? There's always multiple skirmishes. You got America the Great, Babylon the Great, and they got their skirmish, the southern border. Now they got a little something going on with the northern border and their sister, Canada, their kid sister. Right? There's always multiple things. Right? America the Great has had a war on teas for the better part of two decades. Right? We're just seeing things build up. Right? It ain't here yet. Right? Because the MOTB has got to come first. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely you shall make their habitations desolate with them. Right? The land of Israel going to do something to pull America the Great into a skirmish. Second Ezra 15, verse 28. Behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots. Right? The dragons of Arabia. Them Ishmaelites, man, right? And who are they? Jordan, Egypt, Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, right? The Strip, the UAE, right? Shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that they which hear them may fear and tremble. Right? They're going to come with their military might. Also, the Carmanians raging in wrath. The Carmanians is Iran. Right? I queued this up, right? I queued this up before I started this lesson. This is from this is from a few days ago. No, it's not that. Yeah, February 3rd, 2025. Iran tests new missile that could target U.S. forces. Create hell, unquote. Right? So, listen, King says here Iran has test fired an anti ship cruise missile with a range of more than 1,000 kilometers, 620 miles, a weapon capable of reaching U.S. Navy vessels operating in the Persian Gulf and the Sea of Oman, state television reported. The test follows Iran's continued efforts to expand its missile capabilities amid rising tensions in the Middle East. Right? And Iran, listen, uh, they're the drone, they're the king of the drones, man. But they've been working on missiles, right? Israel's always making, accusing them of having trying to develop um, uranium rods for the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, right? Join battle with the other their brother, their fellow brothers, the other Ishmaelites, right? Join battle with UAE and the Saudis, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Iraq, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, right? America, right? Right. Once again, we're just seeing the buildup. Right. World War III doesn't come till the MOTB is mandated worldwide. Verse 31. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, right? Their nature. You go into the story in Genesis 16. Right, the story of Hagar giving birth to Ishmael. Genesis 16 points in 12. Genesis 16 and 8. And he said, Hagar, Sarai's maid, whence comest thou? And whither wilt thou go? And she said, I flee from the face of my mistress Sarai. Right? Hagar was a bondwoman, right? Sarai was the wife of Abraham, and Hagar was the bondwoman. And the angel of the Lord Yahweh said unto her, return to thy mistress and submit thyself under her hands. And the angel of the Lord Yahweh said unto her, I will multiply thy seed exceedingly, that it shall not be numbered for multitude. And the angel of the Lord Yahweh said unto her, behold, thou art with child, and shalt bear a son, and shall call his name Ishmael. because the Lord Yahweh hath heard thy affliction. Here's the point. And he will be a wild man, right? He will be a wild man. So we just read he will remember his nature, right? Ishmael's a wild man, yo. This guy don't play around, right? Ishmael don't play around when it comes to war, right? You see how America is painting him as a T, right? They show his wild side. He's a wild man. That's accurate. His wildness is accurate. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren, right? He's down there in the land amongst his brethren, right? Other Ishmaelites, right? But they shall remember their nature, right? We're just seeing the build up. Verse 31. And then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them, then these shall be troubled, bled, and keep silence through their power, and shall flee. And from the land of the Assyrians shall the enemy besiege them, and consume some of them. And in their host shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Right? From the land of Assyrians, right? The shores of America, the great Babylon the Great, shall the enemy besiege them and consume some of them. And their host being armies, shall be fear. And in their hosts, right, their armies, their militaries, America the Great's, Babylon the Great's militaries, shall be fear and dread and strife among their kings. Right, and we see the prelude to strife among their kings right now, man. A lot of back and forth between the left and the right. You know, not too long ago they were trying to persecute Trump, right? Right. FBI was at the head of the investigations. You know, but yeah, that's it on that, man. I just wanted to bring out that this Saudi king, the leader of the Saudis, he's not with, he's not down with what Trump's recent statement. So with that, Kalala Yahweh Bashim Yahshai Bashim Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of great milestone to teach one well. Shalom to the elect.